optional. Okay, kids, so we're going to take this loop band and we're going to put it through the feet and slide it up halfway up your quad. Okay? And then we're going to also grab onto our weights. So if you have other props available, like a ball or anything, or a long band, feel free to use them anytime, especially when we're holding this position for a while. You can put that ball behind you. You can always sit up instead, okay? So we're going to grab onto those weights. We're going to lengthen them halfway down our shin. We're going to press down into our shin to really sit tall. Let's take a nice big inhale. And on the exhale, keep the arms where they are, but round your spine. And then we'll inhale, zip back up. And exhale, round that spine. Inhale, feel the shoulders melting down. And then on the exhale, we feel that upper back rounding. Now hold it right here. Using those armpit muscles, bring those arms parallel. And we're going to roll it further back, but not all the way back yet. Right about here, okay? We're going to take those arms up for 2, and then lower back to parallel for 2. And we'll inhale up for 2, exhale down for 2. The band should be nice and tight, and we lower. Give me 2 more. Inhaling and exhaling, and 1 more. Inhale, 2, exhale, and we'll continue the rest of the way down. Arms are straight up. Slide those feet a little closer and get those shoulders nice and heavy. We're going to curl the tail under and bridge up. We'll take the elbows down to the sides of the mat. We'll press the arms straight back up and then bend the arms. So we're just holding the bridge as we move those arms up over our chest and back down to the mat. We'll exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. For 4 and lower. Make sure that belly's pulling in and up and the hips in a straight line. And we'll hold this one up and turn the palms in. We're going to let the arms go out to the side. When you bring them back up, drive your right knee to a tabletop. Put that foot down as you open up the arms again. Bring the arms back up, left leg tabletops. We'll inhale down, exhale lift. In, out. Whatever foot is left on that mat, you're going to push through the floor to lift the opposite leg up. If you need to lower down your hips at any time. Up and down. And we lift up and down. 1 more each leg. Last one. Bring the arms back up. Shoulders should be down, and we'll lower bone by bone back down to the floor. As my arms lower, tabletop your legs. So the legs are apart to keep my band nice and tight. You're going to take both legs away from the center and back in. We'll inhale and exhale. Now remember, all movement comes from the core. So as soon as those legs are pressing out, that belly is pressing in. And we'll go for 4 more. And 3. Good. And 2. And 1. Bring the arms straight back up and the palms are turned in. Shoulders are heavy. So I want you to take those legs back out again, but this time I'm going to curl my chin to my chest and reach my weights forward and then return back home. I'm going to exhale as I press up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now you never have to lift your head at all. You don't have to move the legs or just the legs and no arms. Make it work for your body today. We'll do 4 more. Try to make sure that you're curling that chin in towards your chest and not dragging your head off the floor. 2 more. Exhaling up. Inhaling down. Last one. Exhale and inhale. All right, so the shoulders are still heavy. The back is heavy. I'm imprinting my spine and my knees are in line with my hips. I want you to take the right leg out and the left arm back. Return back home. The left leg goes out, the right arm goes back,
And we bring it back home. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale in. Inhale to exhale. Inhale to exhale. Be careful how far that arm goes back. It needs to feel okay with that shoulder. So listen to your body and bring it back in. And we reach and bring it back in. One more, the right leg and left arm. And we'll finish with the left leg, right arm. And we'll take those arms back down and draw the knees closer in towards the chest. Can you hover your arms again off the mat and bend the elbows? My upper arm is off the mat, but it's glued to the side of my rib cage. I want you to press the legs straight out and the arms. I'm going to press out to a Pilates V, then I'm going to come back into parallel. If this is straining to your lower back to press those legs out, you'll want to go up instead of out. I'm going to exhale out, inhale in. So remember, I'm going to a Pilates stance, so I'm all the way out, and then I come back into parallel. If you want, I'm going to add taking my head off the mat as my legs and arms lengthen, and then I come back in. I'll exhale, inhale back in. Again, I'm not dragging my head, so I feel no strain to my neck. I'm going to go for 2 more. 1 more. Can you hold this? And we're going to do little jumping jacks. Open, close, open, close, open, just the legs for now. And if you want, you can add the arms going with the legs. Open, close, open, close. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring everything back in. Take your feet back onto the mat, and we'll lengthen those legs straight out. Okay? Bring those arms straight up over your chest, and the shoulders are heavy. I'm going to take my legs as wide as I need to where I feel the band is working those outer thighs. Feet are flexed, shoulders are heavy, palms face forward. We're going to do a roll up. So we're going to nod the chin to our chest, find that lower back, and lift up and over a barrel that we're not going to touch with the rib cage. I want you to pulse for 3. 1, 2, 3. Roll it back. Melt the shoulders, tuck the tail, and lengthen your spine. Try that again. Nod the chin to your chest. Inhale. Exhale, up and over. These will never get easy, I think. Pulse for 3. 1, 2, 3. Roll it back. Right away, those shoulders need to check in and make sure they're connected to that back. No momentum. I'd rather you not go all the way down if you can't get up without momentum. Use your breath. Pulse 3. Inhale back. Exhale down. We're going to do 1 more. Nod that chin to your chest. Inhale. Peel, peel, peel. Lengthen the back of those legs. Pulse for 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I want you to stack your spine and lower the arms all the way down. Do we feel warm yet? Oh, yes. Bend the knees. I'm going to scoot my seat a little bit more forward. And I want you to take those shoulders and roll them back and open up your chest. Okay? I'm going to lengthen my right leg out onto the mat. And I want you to lift it up and down without moving the hips around, the pelvis. And I want you to think of lifting first. I want the core activating, like an eject button. And then I want the front of that hip and front of the thigh to work to lift this leg. Now the foot that's staying on the mat, I'm pushing it down into the mat. And I'm going to go for 4. Good. And 3. And 2. And 1. Now, do you think you can hold yourself there and let go with one hand? Do you think you can stay where you are and add the other? Do you think you can lower down to the base of your shoulder blade and tip the legs with you? Hold it here. And we're going to move one knee and the other knee. Boom. Now don't go too crazy because your band's going to slide all around. So you got to find that zone where it's going to stay still, right? Boom, 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 bam.
take the arms and move them as well with control. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees in, tip up. Good. Okay. Take the hands behind you again. And again, you're going to choose how far back they go. If you're here, but you're going to sink, you need to move them back. So I want the chest open, shoulders melted, belly pulling in and up. Okay? Now slide the left leg long. From the core, front of the hip, quad, push the opposite foot down. We're going to lift up. When I push my foot down into that mat, I can feel this hamstring and glute sort of engage. Can you? Okay. So the body's working as a team, lifting this leg. But this is for the front of that hip. We exhale up, inhale down. Good. And lift. Pull that navel in and up for 4. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Now, can you let go with one hand without sinking down? Of course you can. The other one. We'll lower back and the legs will go with us. Turn those palms in. Make sure that you're off the shoulder blades and we move. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. You should feel no strain to your neck because your core is holding that head and chest up. If you want, you move those arms with the legs. Bam, bam. Exhale, exhale. Shh, shh. Eyes to navel if your head's off that mat. 4, good. 3, and 2, and 1. Hands behind the thighs, and gently rock yourself back up. Relax those shoulders and grab back onto your weights. Lengthen your legs out in front of you. Press the back of those knees down. And I want you to point your Pilates V. Take the shoulders in front of your hips, not by rounding, but by lengthening up taller. Bend the elbows, thumbs by your armpits, palms face forward. So elbows are down by your side, okay? Your neck should be in line with your spine, and the belly should be pulling in and up, and you're sitting on thumbtacks. You're sitting nice and light. As I press my arms straight up, I want the spine to go up, the rib cage to go up with you. But when I bring my elbows back down, I don't lose the length in my spine. So if we're rounding here, that's not lengthening. So I want you to open up the chest, press it up, and bend it back down. Press it up and lower. We lift and lower. We're going to go for 4. Can you feel the back of those legs lengthening? 3, make sure you're flexing forward at your hips. 2, hold this one up. We'll lower the arms all the way down. We'll bring them back up. We don't ever collapse that torso. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. So you're moving from those back muscles, supported from the core. Look straight ahead. We shouldn't be rounding at all. And those arms are like beams of steel. We go for 2 more. 1 more. Hold this one up. I'm going to connect my thumb and second finger and bend my elbows to the base of my skull. I'll shave my hair off and put it back on. I inhale up, exhale down. Good. For 4, yes. 3, 2, and 1. Separate the hands, open them out to the sides. Good. Hug a big tree, push away the forest. Exhale, inhale. We're sitting as tall as we can. We're still staying active in the back of those legs. We're moving the arms from our back muscles. You should always be able to see your weights and your peripheral vision. So some of you, I'm questioning that. 3, 2 more, 1 more, and lower it down. Nicely done. Slide that band down so it's more towards the halfway point of the shins. okay? We'll lie all the way back and we'll hug our knees into our chest just to give that back a little stretch. Check in, make sure everything feels okay. We're going to zip these legs straight up, and I'm going to still have my heels turned in, my toes turned out. I've got resistance against my band. If you're going to be keeping your head down, or if you have, or you have a back issue, put your hands underneath your seat while our legs are up. If you're going to take your head off the mat, hand over hand behind the head, and curl that chin to your chest. From here, we're going to press out, 2, 3, and then come back in. But keep tension on your loop band. And a press. 1, 2, 3, and release. And 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3. Now, I'd like to add on to this. I'm going to lower my legs, and I'm going to press up, up, up. Lower my legs, and we press up, up, up. Inhale down. Exhale. Shh, shh, shh. Inhale down. Exhale. Shh, shh, shh. Inhale down. Exhale up. Heels still turned in. Toes turned out. One more. Boom, boom, boom. And hug everything in. Did you guys survive that? Okay. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to take the band, slide it down so it's right behind the arch of your foot. If you have to sit up and do that, go ahead. All right, so again, we have to have the feet far enough apart that the loop band stays tight. Hand over hand behind that head. If you're able, curl the chin to your chest until the shoulder blades are off the mat. So you're going to press the leg that's furthest away from me straight out. And when you do this, you're going to rotate to that bent leg. Then come back in, neutral, and then reverse, look away, and come back in. Stay with me, band. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Try to have your shoulders stay off the floor and the elbows stay wide. So don't get caught taking that elbow towards that thigh. Get the rotation. And center. One more, please. Make it your best one yet. And we'll take our feet down, flat. Palms are flat. I want you to bridge up for me. Clasp your hands underneath your seat and reach those knuckles towards your heels. Open up that chest. Fire those glutes. Lift up those hips. Sweep the arms behind you. Palms up. We're going to inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to melt down for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Sweep the arms back around and hug those knees into your chest. Great. And we'll rock ourselves back up. Keeping the band behind the feet, we're going to flip into a quadruped position. If you need to fix your band, if it got bunched up, try and flatten it out. If it takes too long, then let it go. I prefer mine to be flat, but it's too much folded. It's not going to go. Okay. We'll work with it. All right, slide those weights forward, please. All right, so I want you to keep the left foot with the band on your arch. You're going to take the right side and slide it to your ankle. Okay? With me so far? Okay. So the left foot is the one that's going to be moving. So make sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. And the knees are as far apart as you need to keep that band tight. I'm going to press that knee off the mat with my foot going towards the ceiling and lowering it back down. Now you got to make sure that you don't tilt to your standing leg. We lift it up and we lower it down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Shoulders are connected to your back. Crown of the head is reaching long. Your belly's pulling in strong. You got 4 more to go. Awesome. And 3
and 2. Hold this one up, and we'll pulse it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and lower it down. Take both ends behind the arch. Take the left side to the ankle. Before we go back, I want you to come down to your forearms and just flip your wrists and go back into little child's pose. You can curl the fingers towards the wrist. Okay, and we'll come back up. If you'd rather be on your forearms, go for it. That's fine. Shoulders connected to your back, belly pulling in. Remember, I have the right foot has the band on the arch, left ankle's got the band. Okay, so my right foot's going to press up, taking that knee off the mat, and come back down with control. Exhale, inhale down. Again, same cues, crown the head reaching long, shoulders connected to your back. Make sure you're not leaning. You got to check every once in a while. Look down and make sure that I'm not into a diagonal with that leg, right? Stabilize the spine with the core pulling in deeper and zipping it up. Use your breath. And we go for 4. Good. And 3. I hope you feel these. And 2. I'll hold this one up, little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fix that now so it's behind both ankles. We'll stretch back into a child's pose. I'll take the arms behind me this time and curl the fingers to the wrists, making a cup with your hands. Great. Okay, we're going to come all the way down onto our stomachs. Weights will be optional, okay? So I'm going to take my arms out like a T. Now you got to remember how you move your arms from what muscles. So when you move your arms, when you're using weights in your hands, you're moving from those armpit muscles, correct? Correct. So I'm going to squeeze into those muscles, make sure they're engaged, and lift my arms up off the mat. I'm going to slide my weights back, back, back. It's going to lift up my head and chest. I'm still looking down, and I return, hovering the mat to a T. Inhale back, hold, 2, 3, and return. My hips, my pelvis pressing into the floor. My feet pressing into the floor. I'm always looking down at my mat, so my neck is in line with my spine. 2 more. Inhale, hold. Exhale, return. And 1 more. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, return, and release the weights. Make a pillow with your hands. Okay? Pull the belly in, send your tail long, and lift the legs up off your mat. We're going to do little pushes out, like little jumping jacks with the band. We're going to go out, out, out. So the glutes never really get a break because we're constantly going out and in. The belly is staying pulling in away from the mat. The shoulders are still relaxed. And I go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Bend the knees. The legs are wide as the mat. Tension is still on that band, okay? You can rest your head on that top hand, or you can push through your hands and hover your head and chest. We're going to try and lift these legs up and down. Lift the thighs up and down. Booty is working. Belly is pulling in. Don't let this go to your lower back. And 3, and 2, and 1. Lengthen your legs and stretch back into a child's pose. Scoop the belly and round the back. Take a couple breaths here, inhaling and exhaling. Good. And we're going to come back down onto the stomachs. So I'm going to make a pillow again. Toes are reaching long. And once you lift your right leg until there's resistance on that band, you feel the whole back of that body firing, and then lower it down. Then the other leg. I'm not going to let my hip
leave my mat, and come back down. So as I'm lifting my leg and squeezing the booty, you're still driving that navel away from the mat. Here we go. And we lift, 2, 3, and release. And lift, 2, 3. Now let's add on to this. I want you to glue your forehead to your top hand. And as you lift the leg, I'm going to lift my head and chest, 2, 3, and come down. Big exhale. Inhale, lower. If it doesn't feel good, adding the head lifting up, take it out. The shoulders need to be connected to your back. And we lengthen and squeeze and release. One more. Now, can you hold this one up? Now, keep switching the legs. Switch, 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 switch. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, release, and stretch back. So you never want to work through back strain. So if you felt any strain at all to that, you should not keep going. Okay, so make sure you don't continue if there's a back issue. All right, let's flip back over. Now we're back onto our seats again. And we're going to take that band back behind the arches of our feet. Has to be wide enough for the band to stay nice and tight. One weight in each hand, and we're going to lie back down. So I'm going to hold my weights like I'm holding hammers or candlesticks. And my arms really aren't on the mat. They're reaching and they're hovering off the mat because they're not down here. They're almost, think of firing your tricep muscles, okay? And we're going to go up into a bridge again. I want you to push the weights down, shoulders down, but chest and hips are open. We're going to take the right foot, drive it in, put it down. Left, drive it in. So I want you to match the arm as the leg and do a hammer curl. Bam. Bam. When you land, you got to keep that band tight. Keep those hips lifted. Good. Don't collapse those hips. You don't have a whole lot of anchors to help push, to help lift. Bam. One more. Bam. Fix that bridge. Woo. Inhale for me and exhale. Bring it back down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to let my weights go flat so the heel of my hand can just rest along them. I want you to bridge up this time. Everything's going to lift. And I'm going to tap the knees inward and then release as I lower. So it's tap, lower. Knees touch, knees separate. And lift. Now you can choose to go all the way down, take a break, then come back up. You can hover over the mat and make your moves a little quicker. I'm going to exhale every time I lift. And I'm going to start to pick up my pace here. 1 and 2 and 3. I'm squeezing my seat. I'm pulling that navel in. My inner thighs are working. Arms are still reaching long. And the back of your head should be pressing into that mat as well, lengthening that neck. Can you feel anything yet in those glutes and inner thighs? Yeah. Just one of you? Yeah. 8 and 7, 6 and 5. Here's 4, 3, 2. Hold it. Now little pulses. 1, 2, 3. So I'm barely moving down and coming right back up and squeezing those knees together and releasing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and melt back down. Lengthen your legs out onto the mat. Bring those arms straight up over your chest. Nod the chin to your chest and sit straight up. Take your time. Use the band. Press into it. Good. Okay, so I want you to bend your elbows and let the upper arm rest against that rib cage. Feet are flexed. So you're going to use the band, use the outer thighs to help with this exercise. We're going to start by hinging back nice and flat and then rounding down. We'll nod that chin to our chest. Press against your band to come up and over a barrel. So I'm rounded here. Stack your spine. Flat back. Whoop, hold. Now exhale. Round as far as you can go down. Nod that chin to your chest. Inhale. To exhale. Shoulders should be over the hips. Zip up from the glutes and the core. Hinge nice and long, and then round. Flex those feet the whole time. Inhale. To exhale. I'm rounding myself inside that tractor tire. Zip it up. Hinge it back. Melt it down. And release. Reach those arms long, palms turned in. If you need a break for the shoulders and the arms and the back, let them rest. Otherwise, you can hold them parallel. I'm going to drive my right knee in, and I'm going to crunch up and place that foot down. And now nod my chin to my chest for the left knee to come in, and I'm just taking my head and shoulders off the mat and then coming back down. I want you to resist. Make it harder. Flip those palms up, and I'll bicep curl with my knee coming in. Lengthen. That's it. Keep that band tight when you take that leg back out. Good. We'll go for 4 more. Hang in there. 2 more. Last one. Flip the palms to face your thighs, nod the chin to your chest, and round forward. And let those weights go off the sides. Grab onto whatever you can and pull your torso towards your thighs. Lovely. Grab back onto your weights and stack your spine. Knuckle to knuckle. Press the back of the legs down. Shoulders are connected to your back, and we're sitting as tall as we can. Feel like there's a puppet string on top of your head. It's pulling you up, 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 up. Good. We're going to inhale, grow even an inch taller, and exhale towards me for 2 counts. 1, 2. Inhale, center. Exhale away from me. Think of spiraling up a barbershop pole. And we're not coming back down yet. So every time we pause, we don't lower down that pole. Each rotation, we're getting higher. Now you got to relax your shoulders. Poke your elbows out. 1, 2. 1 more each side. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale. Now can you see curve back? Halfway, about halfway. Melt the shoulders. Let the elbows come down. I'm going to rotate towards the front of the room, to the back. Now, if it makes you dizzy following those weights, I want you to stay looking straight ahead. Keep those shoulders connected. My hips don't go with me. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring it back up. Pull the elbows behind you. Take the chest more towards the thighs. Melt the shoulders, and the neck is still long. We're going to kick these arms back, squeezing those triceps, and bend. So my elbows stay in place. If you have your shoulders cranking up, you're going to feel all kinds of crankiness in that neck as well, and traps. So you got to make sure those shoulders are staying heavy. Now I go for 8. Squeeze those triceps. 7, 6, 5, and 4, 3, 2 more. Now can you hold this back here? Can you stick out the chest? Can you lengthen your spine more? Tiny pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Take the weights off to the side. Take your hands behind you and bend your knees. Now, if you have a wrist or shoulder, elbow issue, you're going to keep your booty on the mat, but you'll bend back. And as you straighten, you're going to squeeze the back of the upper arm, okay? So you can keep your booty on the mat. Otherwise, I'm going to hover my seat And I'll straighten my arms by lifting up my seat higher and lowering. Now, if you keep your arms straight and do this, you're not working your triceps. So you've got to start with your arms bent. Then you drive them straight, let them bend behind you. Press. Good. Press. And we go for 4. Don't you love these? 3. Everyone loves tricep dips. 2. And 1. Take the feet a little further out. Can you do some wrist releases? Now, something that I don't do well, but doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. We call them tabletops, where you lift up your hips into like a bridge, but we're not lying down. So it's sort of like that tricep dip you just did, but you're going to lift up into this tabletop. See, if you have real tight shoulders, your shoulders won't open enough and get those hips up, right? But you don't take your head back, right, and lower back down. So let's try that again. You can't start with your shoulders rounding forward. You start with your chest open like you're going to do a tricep dip. As you're curling that tail up, you're lengthening your arms, you're opening up those hips, look forward, and come back down. So in a perfect world, you'd be a complete tabletop from your knees to your shoulders, right? Mine's not so perfect. Curl and lift and lower it back down. 1 more. And lower it back down. Lengthen your legs and round forward. You deserve a little break here. Did you survive that one? Barely, right? I know my shoulders right now are saying, ho, 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 ho. And that's okay. All right, so I'm going to slide the band up to the center of the quad again. And now we're going to do some side things for the side hip, the outer thigh, the obliques. So you're going to flip your knees to face forward. Now I'm going to come into, yes, you're going to mirror me. Good question, Jane. All right, now, if you have a shoulder issue, you can always come down on your side like this. You can put a ball here to help hold that weight up as a reminder to not sink, okay? All right, so the knees are towards the top edge of the mat. I want you to take this bottom rib cage, pull it in. So I should feel both of my obliques pressing into my center. You have to keep that engaged the whole time. So my upper arm is glued to my side. My palm is facing my torso. I'm going to lift the leg up with the arm swinging open. So this is the rotator cuff strengthening, outer hip, thigh, glute, and of course the core. I lift up and down, up and down. That belly goes bam as that leg is moving up. Push your bottom leg down as you lift the top leg up. We go for 5 and 4 and 3, 2, and 1. Put the weight down, and we're going to build on this move, okay? So I'll take my hand to my hip, and I'm going to lift my hips up off the mat. Now you shouldn't be turned towards your mat. Everything should face the wall in front of you. Can you lift your top leg up, press it out, bend it, and come back down? Come back up, lift that leg. Push it out, bend it, lower down. Now see if you can, as you're lifting your hips up, take that leg right up. Bam. Push it out, bring it in, release. And again, out, in, inhale, exhale, out, in. 1 more. If you have to reposition so you feel like you're in that right centered position. We lift up. Now hold this here. Can we lower and lift it? Maybe. If not, you come back down, right? 6, 5, good. 4, open your chest, please. 3, 2, and 1, and bring it back in. Okay, so remember which leg it was just working. Okay, we're gonna come into a quadruped position, working the same leg. We're gonna do some fire hydrants. Is that what they used to call them like years ago? What do they call them now? I don't know. I still call them fire. Okay, so that same leg that was just working is gonna press out and in. Out,
and in. Can you make sure that your shoulders are connected to your back? Out and in, out and in. I'm not looking for the leg to go a certain height. I'm looking for the pelvis to be stabilized, the hips to be in a straight line. Your standing leg is not going wonky. Now, can you hold this one out? Extend the leg, bend it, and bring it back in. Ouchies. Take it out. Squeeze everything you got to press it out. Bend it. Come back in. That was 2. Feels like 8 already, doesn't it? Maybe we shouldn't do 8. Here's 4. You can always ditch the band too. Should we do 4 more? Say yes or no. Okay, before we start it. So now you're committing to the other side with 8 as well. Just want you to know that it was your call. I can't be getting yelled at. And 1 more. Woo! And release. Arms go behind you. Curl those fingertips to your wrist. Nicely done. Okay, flip back over onto your side. Okay? Bring back down onto your forearm. Same leg. Oh, same leg. So you're mirroring me. Mirroring me. Oh, I threw you guys off. Lift this leg. Lift this leg parallel to the other leg, okay? And we're going to go forward and back with control. Because if I go too fast, it's not the same. This has to stay still. This has to stay stacked. Belly's pulling in. Here's your breath. Exhale. Inhale. And we're dusting a shelf with this inner thigh, right? So I'm not dropping down to here. I'm not tilting. Good. And 3. I'm going to exhale forward. 2. And 1. Now I want you to touch the knees together and your foot's going to go up in the air. So it's knee to knee, toe to toe. Ha ha. Knees, toes. 6. Hello. 5. Where do you feel this at? Glute, hip. 3, 2, and 1. Flip those legs around. Other side. So I straighten them for a second. Now I'm going back to bend. I'll grab back onto my weight. Oh, wow. Time is just flying. All right. Shoulder, elbow. Suction cup this up to this one. Neck is long. Knees to the top edge of your mat. Glue the sides of your feet together. Grab onto your weight. Arm next to your side. We'll open and close. Lift and lower. And lift. Lift. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Bam. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry. You know we have to have control, precision, moving from our center. Where's your opposition? Push that bottom leg down. And we go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Weight goes down. Okay, we're going to lift up these hips. We're going to open, press, return, back down. So we'll lift up first. Make sure you're balanced. Lift up, press, center. 1 more time. Lift up, boom, boom, boom. Now, as we lift up, take that leg right up to parallel. Lift, press, in, ooh. Inhale down. Exhale, drive. You can be laying all the way on your side, keeping your hip down and just doing this. You don't have to lift up ever. Up, press. So here's the modified version. Or you can lay all the way down, right? Is that working for you? Perfect. 1 more, 1 more. I'm still with you. Up, press, in, and release. Remember the leg that was just working. Come into a quadruped position. And we do our little fire hydrants. I have to say, we did a lot of hip work this whole week.
Okay, here we go. Go out and in. Shh. And in. Out and in. Out and in. Where are your shoulders? Do you know? Can you feel where they are? Can you feel if they're in the right spot? Belly's pulling in. You're stabilizing with your standing side. Now, only if you want, you take it up, press, bend, and lower. Out, kick it out, bend it, and return. Bam. Woo. Inhale, regroup. Out, in. 2 more, because we said 8, didn't we? Yes, we did. Not mentioning any names of whose decision that was. And then we come back onto that same side. So you're going to mirror me. It'll remind you where you are. And we're going to do the front back. Hang in there. Good things are coming up. Shoulder, elbow, rib cage in. Lift this leg parallel to this leg. We exhale forward. Inhale back. You can keep your fingertips right here in front of you for the balance. You can take your hand behind your head to your hip. What's going to work for you on this side? Don't collapse. Don't collapse. Some of us are collapsing. Almost all of us are collapsing. I'm not going to mention any names. Go exhale. Inhale. Pull this in. Best you can. So all I ask is the best you can. And we go for 3, 2, yay, 1, and bring it in. Swing the legs forward and just lengthen those legs, and we'll just round it forward. Relax the head, relax those shoulders. Great. Okay, grab back onto your weights, and here we go. Less than 10 minutes. I think you can do that. Bring those arms forward, weights or no weights. My feet are far enough away from me that I can come up. My arms are in a diagonal, just like my legs, and my shoulders are connected to my back. You only go as far as you know you can come back up. We're going to exhale down. Lengthening that spine. Arms stop up over your chest, and the shoulders should be touching the floor. Nod that chin to your chest. Find that lower back. Inhale up. Exhale. So your arms are staying on that track. We find that diagonal track, and they go up that track, following those fingertips with your eyes. Then your eyes go down your thighs to your navel and up. Bring it up. Inhale. Exhale. Take it down. Now, if you want, straighten your legs. Now, this is much, much, much harder. We're taking it like from a level 1 to a level 3. So feel free to keep your knees bent, okay? We're going to take these legs. Now, I'm going to connect my heels. I think my band's tight enough still. I'll nod my chin to my chest. My feet are going to hover the floor. And then I'm going to pull myself up with control from my belly. And then we'll come back down and hover. Eyes and toes, they stay together. Scoop that belly in deeper. Connect those shoulders. Bring it back down, hover. Inhale up. Exhaling down. 1 more. Good. Now, whether your feet are up or down, everyone put their feet down, put their weights down, and come onto their forearms and tip the legs back in. Open the chest, shoulders down. Just your right leg is going to go out and center. Out and in. Tabletop those legs and keep that shin parallel to the other one as you're pressing out. The other leg is stabilizing. And 3 and 2. Pelvis doesn't move, hips don't move. And switch the legs. So glance at the belly, at the hips, at the pelvis. Is anything moving? Answer should be no. Open up the chest. Don't feel strain to your shoulders. 4 and 3. 2 more. Here's 2 and 1. And lie down and hug those knees in. I'm going to roll my shoulders a couple times. Now reverse that roll. Good.
If you have lower back issues, you're tired, the abdominals are weak, put your hands underneath your seat for this one. If you have been lifting up your head, you can put your hands behind your head and prepare to lift the head. I'm going to zip my legs straight up slowly. As they're going up, I feel my back going heavier. If you're lifting your head, you take a nice big inhale to prepare, and then exhale, we'll nod the chin to your chest. We're going to do some scissors. The right leg will go down. The left leg will go forward. We switch. They pass. Bam. 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 You should be imprinting your spine and only take the bottom leg as low as the top leg is going towards you. Boom. Boom. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Now start to bring them closer together and give these little scissors. So they're quicker and they're small. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and hug it in. Pull those knees towards you. Relax the shoulders. Relax the neck. Good. Let's rock ourselves back up. We're going to slide the band back down behind our arches. You got like just 2 things left. Just 2 things left. So we're going to go into a plank and drive knees alternating in towards our chest. Okay? So we're going to go and flip over into a quadruped position. And again, the band should be behind your arches. And once you get flipped over, you can always sit back and fix your band. It's not easy. All right. You can go onto your forearms, okay? You can even just hold this and drive a knee in. See, I'm still working my core in a quadruped position, okay? So this is probably better than going on your forearms if possible. I'm going to take my legs back. Feet need to be as wide as they need to be for the band to be tight. I'll drive forward and release. Good. Pause and then release. Pause and release. Feel your tail lengthening longer in the opposite direction as the crown of your head. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll lower those knees and stretch back. I'm going to release my wrist again by the arms going behind me and curling your fingertips to your wrist. Good. We'll come back up. Sit on your side again, and we're going to do a little mermaid stretch, okay? So you can take your band off. I'm going to do a mermaid stretch with my legs further apart so I can hold myself here in this T. Okay, so can you feel these? If one's weaker, it's going to plop you to that side, right? So pull them in, shoulders down. I want you to grab onto your back shin and let this arm stretch over towards that arm. Come back to your T. Can you hold it? Now I'm going to tip. My hand touches the floor. I lower onto my forearm. My palm now is facing down. And I'll push through my hand that's on the mat and then use my obliques to come back up and hold. Shoulders relaxed. Hook on. Inhale on the over. Exhale, hold to your T. Tip onto your forearm. Keep the hip where it was and stretch as far as you can. Now rotate your torso and reach in front of you. Bring it back to center. Look up towards the ceiling. Bring it back to center. Slowly bring it up. Lock in those obliques and lower it down. Okay, switch the legs. Home stretch, home stretch. You made it. I finally get some smiles in the room. Hook onto your back shin. Use that as leverage to pull you over. Zip up, zip up, zip up. Tip.
lower, stretch, inhale, exhale, hold, hook, pull yourself over. We're not just like having our hand rest here, you're pressing into that shin to get you over. Bring it up. Shoulders are down. Tip, the hip didn't go with you, right? I'm looking at my hip. Did you go with me? No, you did not. Yeah, you got to check sometimes. You don't have a mirror like, well, I don't know. What's my hip doing? Rotate. Look towards that side of the mat where that other hand is. Bring it back, face straight ahead. Look towards the ceiling. Back to straight ahead. Bring yourself all the way up. Hold this. Lower the arms. Come into a hands and knees position to get you off the mat. Okay, it's not another exercise. We're just going to get off the mat this way, or up off the mat. Curl those toes under. Drive the legs back. Head is heavy, and try to push those heels down to the floor. Yes. Now from your core, not your hips, walk your hands to your feet. 3, 2, 1. Hold this stretch for a second. Enjoy the length in the back of those legs. If you need to, just fingertips, right? Or maybe your knuckles, or maybe your palms, whatever that body will give you today. Now, everybody go to their fingertips by pulling their belly in. Lower back down. Try that again. Suck your navel in to lift to the fingertips. Now, pull your belly in a little deeper and dangle these arms. And let them circle inward. But you've got to keep that belly pulling in. Reverse the circle. Again, keep that belly pulling in to support the spine. Hold the arms still. Pull the belly in deeper. Start to come up. And when those hands are right by the knees, send your tail down. Bring your head up. And you have made it. Woo! Good job. Yes.